Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the title background and thumbnail, we finally got DC's Lantern. So this has been a fucking controversial up and down show, man. Oh my god. If you haven't been living on the internet or just now entering the fucking internet, hello, welcome to the shit show that is DC Lantern so far. Because good lord, ever since that first fucking trailer, or actually scratch that, back to the first fucking image we ever got of the show, there's controversy. To the very first image we got, people were like, they're not wearing their suits, it looks fucking dark and grainy. Then we got the first trailer and everybody was shitting on the suits, which again, I'll be frank, I was one of them to a certain degree. I was like, yeah, I don't really love the color grading, but okay, you know. But to me, my biggest thing with the show has always been this doesn't sound or feel or look like a lantern show. You know, when I'm thinking lanterns, I'm thinking, you know, space. I'm thinking galactic. I'm thinking they're going to be going to different planets. Like it's going to be, you know, kind of what Guardians was for the MCU, where it's just this big traversal exploration of this of space. But no, we're going to be on fucking backwoods words, Kentucky, and the lanterns are solving a fucking murder. You know, it didn't sound like lanterns to me. You know, I love the casting of Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan. You know, we were getting this old, grizzled, I'm tired of this shit, fucking Hal Jordan. I thought that was, I mean, for the first time us meeting Hal Jordan in this universe, and especially because we kind of got dicked with Ryan Reynolds' Green Lanterns, even though I like that movie, you know, we haven't gotten a fucking Hal Jordan since then. So it's kind of like, okay, this is the first version of how we're getting in this universe, with him being all, I don't want to do this no more, you know. But I loved Aaron Pierre casting. I thought he looked great. He sounded and looked like the John Stewart from the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, which that's where I discovered John Stewart. So, you know, there was a lot of more hate going into the show than there really was a lot of positives. But the last trailer they put out like a couple weeks ago, I actually thought it looked pretty fucking good. I was like, all right, we're a couple weeks away from the show. I don't want to see any more trailers. Just let me fucking watch the show. You know, I know they even like revealed the first 5 minutes a couple days ago. If I wasn't, you know, involved in this, making the studio and getting the new PC and shit, I probably would have maybe done a reaction to the first 5 minutes. But I was like, you know what? We're literally days away from the premiere. So, you know, don't even. I'll watch it when it comes out Sunday. So here, and again, I'm going to talk spoiler free until like the last couple of minutes of the video, because I do have some thoughts I want to give on one specific thing that is a huge spoiler, but I'll let you guys know if it's spoiler. I'll let you know. So what did I think of Lanterns? I'm gonna be real honest, it's a mixed bag. It is such a mixed bag. Let me give you some of the things I liked first. I said it before, and I've been saying it since they casted. I think Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre are great as these characters. You know, Kyle Chandler, even though this is not the version of Hal Jordan I would have wanted, which we'll get to in a minute, I think he plays a damn good fucking Hal Jordan. You know, when we get those little early scenes of the you know, him in 1996 when he just started as Hal Jordan, and he's the you know, I am the Green Lantern and all that shit. He looks great. He's acting like the Hal Jordan I like. You know, there's some sequences in this episode that show like a little hologram of young Hal, and again, that's like, I'm like, yeah, when he's playing that version of Hal, I'm like, fucking kudos. I like that Hal. That's like the Boy Scout, Captain America, I'm good version of Hal Jordan that I know from the cartoons and some of the comics I've read. But on the other hand, I don't like this whole I'm done with this shit, suicidal kind of version of Hal. That's just not the version I wanted to see. If I'm going to get Hal Jordan after, God, how long has it been? Fucking 14 years since the OG Ryan Reynolds movie. I want to see a proper Hal. I want to see the version that we were seeing in these flashbacks. I want to see that version of Hal. So again, on one hand, I love Kyle Chandler. I think he's a great actor, and I think he plays Hal Jordan fine. But the version that he's playing, I'm not a big fan of. When he's playing the young Hal, I like it. I think he's great. But when he's playing this brittled, drunken, I just want to go in bars and get beat up because I don't like my life, even though you literally are the Green Lantern. I don't really like that. I don't really like that. So, you know, I hope throughout the show, maybe they explore it a little bit, maybe give a reason why he's so fucking like broken and suicidal, because I'm like, that's not the Hal that I like. That's not the Hal that I like. Aaron Pierre, I think, is great, honestly. And there's some time jumping in the show. So we do some past stuff. We do some present stuff. And I think in both eras, he's great. He sounds and looks like John Stewart. Man, there are like, if you just closed your eyes and listen to his voice when he's talking, he sounds like the John Stewart from Justice League Unlimited. I think he's a fucking amazing John Stewart so far. And he hasn't even been in a suit. He hasn't even been in anything that's like, yeah, I think he's a fucking amazing Green Lantern so far. And I can't wait to see in Man of Tomorrow what they do with his character progressing forward. Again, we're only talking about one episode. We still got like 8 or 9 more episodes. I don't know how many episodes the season is. The other things that I did like, I actually like the look of the show. They're going for like this True Detective, buddy cop, Lethal Weapon, Yellowstone mixture, and I don't hate it. Again, is it what I would have wanted from Green Lantern? No. Not at all. I want the space opera. You know, they're traversing the space. They're going to different planets. They're kind of being like how Boba Fett and Django is for the Star Wars universe. They're just going to different planets, helping people and traversing. That's what I would have wanted. We're telling this story that's grounded on Earth, and it's some sort of murder mystery, which again, the murder mystery aspect is interesting, very much interesting, but I'm like, that's not what I really wanted, but I'm still on board. Again, this is the first episode. I'm not jumping ship, but I'm like, okay, this is not maybe what I wanted, but I'll take it for what it is. This dark, gritty, grounded Lantern show. You know, I also like some of the other cast we got here. We got this cop lady that John and Hal have like this really kind of, I don't want you here, but I'm willing to help kind of attitude. I think she's great. But yeah, I mean, on the other hand, and this is more talking about the mix. None of this is really negative. There's really like maybe one negative I have, but that's talking about the spoiler. The mixed aspect I'm really on is just the fact that, okay, this is not the Lanterns I wanted, but it's also not bad either. And so it's like, it's mixed because it's like, on one hand, the show you're giving me is not terrible, is not bad. It's not what I, was wanting. So on one hand, it's like what you're giving me isn't great, but it's salvageable. It's fuckable. But on the other hand, I really wanted this. So it's kind of like a torn thing. Because there are times when he uses his ring and the bubble forms and you get to some like Green Lantern shit and you're like, yes, that's what I want. That's what I want. I want more of that, more of that.
Oh my God. Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Okay, we're just going to walk around a ranch and talk about stuff for a minute.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
Okay, like, so it's a mixed bag because, like, on one hand, again, I like what we're getting. I do. I think it's a good story. The murder mystery aspect of it is interesting. We got a little bit of some corruption going on. Like, it is interesting. But if you scrub the name Lantern and take out the green part, it's not really Green Lantern. So it's so mixed because it's like, I like what we have, but I want something better, So it's mixed so far. And again, it's hard to really talk about shows like this because I'm not really getting the full spectrum of the whole story. It's not like I can sit down and watch episodes 1 through 9, get the full package, then talk about it. We're just kind of talking about episode by episode. So if we're judging it based off of the first episode, I thought it was a banger first episode. It introduced us to the world. I liked the flashbacks to the 1996 era, seeing a young John Stewart look up to Hal and seeing Hal's origins and stuff. Like, those segments are cool. And I like, again, some of the other things, but it's a mixed bag because it's like, on one hand, this ain't bad what we have, but on the other hand, I really want something better. So it's torn. So yeah, that's my just non-spoiler general thoughts on the episode. I'm going to get into spoilers. So this is your warning, spoilers. We're going to talk about this thing because this is really hot. This is really debatable on the internet. And I want to give my 2 cents on it. So this is spoilers right here. Skip to this timestamp if you don't want to get spoiled, and you can just watch the little end goodbye of my video. So going into spoilers, 3, 2, 1, they fucking kill Haljordan. And I kind of knew this was happening. 2 reasons. A, the trailers made it kind of seem like, yeah, Haljordan's going to die either at the end of the show or somewhere in the show because, again, they casted an older version of Haljordan. You decided to start the Green Lantern story with an old, brittled, I don't want to do this no more, no country for old men version of Haljordan. So I knew that was going to happen. And 2, it kind of got leaked a couple weeks ago that, yeah, he's going to die at the end of the first episode. And he did. On one hand, I'll say I'm not pissed like everybody else about it. I'm not like up in arms. What the fuck are we doing? Because how I think about it is the same way I think about it when we got Joel's death in The Last of Us Part 2. When you read on paper, Joel dies in the first 10 minutes of Last of Us Part 2, and you play as his killer, people were pissed. But I didn't get spoiled on that. I played the game, and I was like devastated that he died. But I looked at it like, okay, as long as you make his death matter, and as long as you write a story that has a good purpose for why they had to kill Haljordan, I'm fine with it. Again, I noticed very, very, very deliberate. They decided to start the show in 2016, and then right at the end of the episode, they decided to jump to present day 2026. That's where we get the death of Haljordan. He's sitting on a bleachers. I think what they're going to do with this show is they're going to jump back and forth between 2016 to 2026, and we're going to kind of like see how and his training and stuff like that. Also, at the same time, we don't know the context. That could not be Haljordan at all. It could be a manhunter, because they established that earlier in the episode that these manhunters are really good at cloning people. I'm one of those. I'm holding back anger or frustration on potentially killing Haljordan until the whole show's done, because they might have a good reason as to why they had to kill Hal, or there might be a purpose, an explanation. It's hard to know without the context of, oh, fucking, he's dead. So I'm not ready to pitch my fig forks at goddamn James Gunn and be like, what the fuck are you doing? I was just like, okay, that's a choice. Let's see if it pays off. But I'm not pissed yet because I don't know the context of how Hal died or why Hal died. Now, if it's a dumbass fucking reason, if it's so like no, that's unbelievable, you just wanted to kill Hal so you don't have to fucking deal with them, then I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna jump on here and be like, Gunn, what the fuck are we doing? But as of now, episode 1 of Lanterns, I'm not pissed about it because I don't know the context and I don't know how or why Hal had to die or if he even is dead. So again, I'm not too pissed about that. I think right now we just need to let the show finish. Then we can start bitching if by the end of the season they have a shitty fucking explanation on why Hal dies or something. So I'm not saying Hal is not dead, but I think there's a lot of things that are missing from this episode at the end there that we're not understanding yet until we finish the show. So that's my judgment on it. Bam. So anyways, yes, guys, that is my thoughts on Lanterns episode 1. You guys jump in the comments. What did you think? Did you love this episode? Did you fucking hate this episode? And how are you feeling about the series going forward? I'm being optimistic. I hope it stays the quality and the path that we started in this first episode, because I am intrigued. I do enjoy it, but I hope we start getting more galactic stuff, more alien stuff, more actually going to space and exploring some things. I may be disappointed as fuck by the end of this season, but that's what I hope. So you guys jump in the comments, you let me know, and remember, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.